everybody, and welcome to another episode of Web3 Weekly. I am Cryptokenny. We are going to have a bit of a different kind of episode today. So, what I'm going to do is we have the Alpha Mutants Mint coming up on the 18th. So, I wanted to kind of do a different video today and just do a little bit of a like a breakdown of the Alpha Mutants themselves, and then talk about some of the details of the mint, and just kind of share that with you guys. We're gonna do a little bit of a shorter video today. Myself and the rest of the Alpha Mutants team have been very busy with the lead up to the mint, so I feel like this will be a good informational video for you guys. So bear with me. We're going to do some screen sharing here, and I actually am going to have some sneak peeks for you guys for the one for ones that will be inside of the first class collection launching on the 18th. So I hope that you guys will enjoy that immensely. So let's talk about Alpha Mutants. So a little bit of the history, and this is just going to be from history to launch today. So let's talk about the history of the Alpha Mutants really quickly. For those of you out there that I know don't like reading through our documents, like our history and our white paper, I'm going to make this really easy for you. You can just listen to me talk about it, and that takes away from all of those that don't like to do the immense amount of reading. Um, Really quick before I get started, if you haven't watched the last week's video, we were talking with uh, last week would have been with the Dr. Funk, and we talked about blockchain gaming. He's currently on the team with Phantasma, an L1 gaming blockchain that I am just super excited about. We also talked about gaming, did some demos and stuff. So if you're into blockchain gaming, definitely check out that. I'll put it up at the top here so you can just click on and watch that video, and definitely check out all the rest of our videos also. Like, subscribe, and follow us, please, so we get this our information and our interviews out there to the more to the public. But let's get into Alpha Mutants. So we see here a short history of the Alpha Mutants. Uh, a long time ago in an NFT summer far, far away. Well, just December last year, 2021. There was a new NFT project called Citadel. This project aimed to be a DAO for metaverse real estate by minting what were known as CityKeys. We still make jokes about the name, but anyway, the vision was to become the property barons and tycoons of the metaverse by investing in solid NFT projects with land on the roadmap. Think of Sandbox and NFT Worlds and Metroverse. The aim was to go for a successful mint out and dedicate 75% of the proceeds to the DAO vault and 25% to the founders. A on-chain snapshot system was proposed to spin from the vault with purchases based on voting by the DAO members as in the CityKey holders. The launch was poorly managed and delayed due to a high gas caused the mint to fade. As a result, only 1,084 of 9,500 keys were actually minted for 0.085 ETH each at the time. So we have some math here. What was originally minted. A couple of the purchases the old team made. So this is a very detailed history. I won't go into a lot of it. So in the ensuing mayhem that happened because of the lackluster launch, one of the moderators started a movement to take back the project after the original founders had kind of started to soft rug the project. The community band together and voted in a brand new team of 4 individuals, which we'll introduce you to all 4 of us here in just a moment. The vote was unanimous. The 4 horsemen, Galleon, Cryptokenny, Nate, and Link, were christened the new leaders of the project. Little known historical fact on those voting systems, our founder Link actually had the most votes from the community. He is the nicest of all of us, so that makes sense. A new beginning. Over the next 2 weeks, this new team negotiated for control of code, contract, wallet, social media accounts, OpenSea royalties, and Discord rights. The old team still had access to the original Discord, so there was no option but to create a new server, and thus the Citadel Revived was born. With no treasury to support a DAO, the team's mission was to revive value for the rug community. It was clear our value would be teaching, providing alpha, providing collaborations and whitelists, and ensuring they could play the system. A majority of members had made back their losses from alpha calls and whitelist gains and began buying keys off the market. Some had sold off and left. Many had written us off since the Citadel days. Always striving to do more to assist the community, the team developed a plan and secured a portion of VC funding to assist in the project's relaunch. Nearly 2.5 months after taking over, in mid-March 2022, the Citadel Revived was rebranded and the Alpha Mutants community emerged. So what happened at that point in time when Alpha Mutants was born was replaced all existing art and names from the Citadel keys to Genesis Alpha Mutants. Existing keys will be burned or swapped one for one into the Genesis Alpha Mutants on the 18th. The 2K or the technically now the 10K supply of the Alpha Mutants first class collection will be dropped at the same time. And then we just have some Alpha Mutant holders get access to, and we'll talk about that in a second. But that's a short history of the journey from the Citadel to the Citadel Revived, and then ultimately to the Alpha Mutants and the marketing that has taken place since that time. So we will currently look at Genesis keys on OpenSea. Here, so we'll just refresh this page. So as we can see here, so we're currently sitting at a floor at 0.07 on the Genesis keys. Activity log here over the full time frame of the existence of the keys. So you guys can see at the launch and then this down period through here. So we took over some time in this area right through here. So we've seen our ups and downs 100%, but are moving in an upward direction. We're bringing new people to the community every day. Really appreciate all of you that have been there with us. So this was the art that was ultimately swapped out for the keys themselves. This is a teaser of our comic, which we'll go over when we look at the roadmap really quickly. That is coming after launch. So that'll be a very interesting thing. And we're really super excited about the comic book launch. It's going to be fantastic. We have a lot of gamified mechanics that are coming with that. So I cannot wait to show you guys some of that stuff. It's going to be amazing and fantastic. So on mint day, this collection on OpenSea, which has been rebranded, will be these items, these NFTs will be swapped to a new contract. And after 30 days of the swapping period, this contract will be canceled out. So we'll definitely have announcements about that coming forward. But these are the original 1,084 that used to be the Citadel keys, and they're now Alpha Mutants Genesis placeholders for the launch. So we'll move forward with that. So this is the Alpha Mutants Twitter page here currently. So we look and we've said, I just want to show you guys a couple things. So let me go down to to our launch date information banner. So we can go over that. All right. So mid date was going to be August 18th. It is the whitelists and the Genesis holders will be able to mint starting at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll run for 2 hours for the whitelists. Now the Genesis mints, it'll start at 10 a.m., but it will run for 30 days to be able to swap your Genesis over to the new contract. Supply is going to be 10,000. Minting price is going to be 0.025 ETH on the Alpha Mutants website. So that is how midday is going to run. We'll take a quick look at the Alpha Mutants website here in just a moment. Let's go ahead and move over to that actually right now. So on midday, this will be the Alpha Mutants midday website. As you can see, we have some changing generatives here in the background. Some of this stuff will give you some examples of what you could possibly get on mint day with the Alpha Mutants. So if you'll look at the roadmap here, on our roadmap, we have an overview. So it will talk about the Alpha Mutants, just an overview of the project. You guys can look over that if you want. Well, actually, it's pretty interesting just here, so I'll go over it with you. So the Alpha Mutants is an upcoming NFT utility collection that promises to be a one-stop shop for education, alpha, and analysis tools and community. We have designed our utility to encompass the whole of the NFT space, bringing value to each community member regardless of their personal experience and goals in crypto. The primary goal of Alpha Mutants is to provide education. Every community member will have access to a library of education ranging from entry level to advanced level, which covers everything from wallet operation to mining rig setup. Our vision is to let each community member decide for themselves what they love about the space and how they want to participate. Members that desire a more advanced approach may choose to utilize our NFT analysis tools, all available from within our Discord. These tools include floor sweeps and trending mint monitors, contract deploy monitors, mint schedules, rug pull alerts, early watch calls powered by AI, coin and market trackers, trade signals on BTC and ETH, and soon to be some other altcoins, by the way, and the community hypernode on Ethereum. Further utility will be provided by our deep alpha analysts who will drop full deep dives into promising projects, giving our community the deep research of the best analysts in the space without the need to spend hours researching projects. This benefit will be compounded with our weekly Alpha Mutants podcast. Each weekly episode will include either market analysis, a discussion with different experts in the space, or a breakdown of individual projects the team are currently investing in. Utility is great, but it's also nice to be involved with an artistic project as well, one that gives you an awesome PFP and universe to dive into. We at Alpha Mutants ask ourselves, why not have both? So each holder will have a beautifully designed PFP with an immersive backstory, with the first edition in the form of a comic airdrop to all holders, as well as other avenues soon to be announced. So, Alpha Mutants roadmap items. So we'll go down to our roadmap that follows. So in our roadmap, and we're actually going to cover this inside of the white paper really quick, so I'm going to go over that with you guys. We have a meet the team. We are, as you guys know, a fully doxed team, so we like to have our faces out there in the community, and we don't mind that because we love putting our names on the project and to show what we've done with it. But here's all the four founders here, and of course our artist Chris, and we'll go over that here really shortly. So that's the home page in here. Now you guys will see on Mint Day when you come to the Alpha Mutants homepage there will be the mint function here. So currently, this function will take you to this holding page, which will show you these are the current PFPs that the team is using for Alpha Mutants. So extra points if you can guess which one of us is which. So mint date, it'll have the mint date, and we have a timer here going on now. One mint day, and there will be an announcement of this in Discord shortly within the next few days. One mint day, we will have a option for swapping your Genesis mutant to the new contract, and then an option for minting the first class that will appear on this page once the contract is deployed. So that's an overview of the website, guys. Now let's go and look at the white paper. Now, let me stop really quick, guys, and just say that if you are not currently in the Alpha Mutants Discord, please jump in. There will still be a few chances to get whitelists leading up to just a few days before the mint. So if you want to be involved with this absolutely fantastic project with great utility, great education, and a great community, definitely do that. So we'll scroll down here and start to look at the white paper. So I won't go over the overview here. I will look at, we list the pretty much the same thing on the website along with some of the main utility tools. Let's look at meet the team. So there's myself. I am Cryptokenny. You guys see me every week on the podcast, so know what I look like by this point. So Kenneth is an investor who has over a decade in traditional markets and 6 years in the crypto space. Kenneth lives in the Eastern United States and is one of three founding partners in the crypto investment firm NEA, which stands for New Era Assets. I work with the rest of the team to coordinate project growth, expansion, and operations. He brings his traditional and crypto investment knowledge to grow the community treasury. In addition to this, he also hosts the Alpha Mutants podcast, Web3 Weekly, with a specialty in deep dive alpha. He hopes to provide education and training to community members that want to become long-term investors and players in the crypto and NFT space. He is also an active father of five, traveler, and lifetime student of the financial markets. So that's a very, um, very gracious write up here that some of our team have put on the page. So then we have Nate here, who's our lead alpha analyst, and just become, all these guys have really become just super good friends of mine over the time frame that we've worked on Alpha Mutants, and I encourage you to talk to each and every one of them in the discords as you get a chance to. But Nate is from the U.S. Has a master's degree, professional license in architecture, and has worked with some world-renowned clients and corporations handling multi-million-dollar construction budgets. He has been in the Web3 space since 2016, having worked professionally in graphic design as well. NFTs really caught his attention a little over a year ago and have become his primary trading focus at this time. In addition to alpha analysis, he also handles many of the day-to-day operations behind the scenes. So Nate is that's not even enough to say about Nate. He does so much in the Discord, and he's been such an asset to the team. And also he's taken it upon himself to start his own YouTube channel, specifically talking about use of different tools in the space. Lately, his first few videos, he's talked about trading, specifically leverage trading and how to do that. So I will actually link his YouTube. So everyone, if you're watching the Alpha Mutants channel, you'll want to follow his YouTube as well. He doesn't have scheduled videos, but he does do periodically drops videos on how to use certain tools in the space, trading, and that type of thing. So it's very valuable. So I will drop that for you. Then we have our lovely community lead, Mr. Link himself, who is probably the nicest guy that you could ever meet, and he is masterful at keeping our Discord functional. Every team that we bring in has nothing but good things to say about the Discord, and that majority of that has to go back to Link. So he's been fantastic with that. Link is our team community manager from Down Under, so he lives in Australia, who has had a career spanning over 10 years inside technical support and customer service. With his technical experience and interpersonal skills helping members, Link is also actively involved in growing and developing the Alpha Mutants Discord, bringing education to the Alpha Mutants University and other aspects to the project development as a whole. So Link has done so well with helping us stay organized, and thank him. As you guys see him in Discord, he's just been fantastic. And then we have the firecracker of the group, Mr. Galleon himself. Galleon was the one that spearheaded the initial takeover of the Citadel project, and if it was not for him, we probably wouldn't even be here. He's just has a powerful personality and has done so well with working with communities to get collaborations and to gain contacts for us. And we have such a vast uh, just a vast amount of collaborations and partnerships now, and the majority of those the credit has to go to him. So we appreciate Galleon very much. So Galleon is a lifelong gamer and tech enthusiast. He has been gaming since the early days of arcades and played nearly every console and PC top titles. He's especially good at leadership and community building, and has helped manage countless guilds and clans throughout MMOs and mobile games. Because of his passion for building communities and people, his role on the team has him focusing on social media and building relationships. Super excited to be part of the crypto space because it combines his love of gaming and knowledge of technology. It's like a dream come true, and he's all in on Web3. Outside of Web3 and tech, he is a dad, a husband with two quirky daughters. They like to go camping and be active during the few warm months Alberta, Canada has. They also like to cook together and try new recipes. Also, he's a big stand-up comedy fan, has lots of quotes. And that is absolutely true. He's always quoting something in the Discord. So super great guy, super funny guy. I would like to highlight next Chris, our artist. He's not been out there for the community to talk to as much. Chris is comes from a Web 2 background and is just starting to get into Web 3. So, um, but he there will be plenty of chances for you guys to get to talk with him and be around him. Hopefully, some of the AMAs we have coming up and talk to him. But Chris has just been fantastic. He is the Alpha Mutants PFP collection, the art, the placeholder art, the comics. They are all brainchilds of Chris, and he has just been a joy to work with, absolutely fantastic in the space. Everyone that has seen his specifically his one for one art and some of his the comic book header art has just had nothing but good things to say about it. So Chris is a professional artist from the American Southwest with over a decade of experience working in illustration, game design, and architectural visualization. He has two master's degrees, one in architecture and another in business administration. He's passionate about concept art, design, and illustration. Chris is new to Web3 and eager to learn more about the NFT space. He is currently illustrating the Alpha Mutants generative collection. When he's not behind a screen pushing pixels, Chris spends his time hiking, playing sports, and uh, playing air painting. So Chris is a fantastic guy, and I can't wait to get him to get to speak with more of the community, and I can't wait for his artwork to be displayed for the entire NFT community to see. He definitely deserves it. Now let's talk about some of the technicalities of the Alpha Mutants and try to explain some of this inner workings because we want things to be as simplistic as they can, and that's the goal with this. And we're going to try to see how that we can make this as simplistic as possible for everyone. So the Alpha Mutants community is like no other. Along with the utility provided, our leaders go above and beyond for our community members and will guide you through every aspect of the process. Every distributed whitelist collaboration is accompanied by a full mint walkthrough. On mint day, our leaders will be right there beside you on our designated voice channels, providing mint information, secondary volume, market, mood, and much more, making sure each minting experience is a good one. Alpha Mutants has a strong belief that to be successful, we all must win together. In this spirit of belief, transparency is the most important factor. Every action taken by the team is announced to the community. Above and beyond that, the team members are always available to help holders with balancing their portfolios, breaking into new areas of the space, or simply just answering questions on our weekly AMAs. This is a mentality that we want to carry on, and I think that anyone that's been involved with the community for any amount of time could attest to the fact that the founders and team are 100% there for the community at any time. Genesis mutants. So let's talk about the Genesis in the first class. So the Genesis mutants, which are the 1,084 that are currently available in OpenSea, and that will be free to swap for holders to the new contract. Genesis mutants have a max supply of 1,084 and will not be sold publicly or even whitelist minted. The only way to own a Genesis mutant NFT will be to acquire one on the secondary market, which is currently tradable on OpenSea, which we just looked at a few moments ago. Genesis holders will have access to all utility identified within the white paper in addition to periodic airdrops from fractional yield generated by the Treasury. Genesis holders will also have access to exclusive collaborations, whitelist tools, and direct access to our top analysis for any personal portfolio input needed. So as we develop the ecosystem that will be the Alpha Mutants or AM, we will always have first priority to Genesis mutant holders. So if you are not a Genesis mutant holder, I would greatly recommend to go pick up a Genesis mutant because as we move on to new collections, Genesis mutants will 100% of the time be whitelisted for those, or they will have free mints in most cases, and will 100% of the time be the first to have access to any new utilities that we have. And there will be exclusive utilities for Genesis holders. And then obviously yields from the Treasury will only ever be paid out to Genesis holders. So it makes sense to pick up one and experience that inner circle of the Alpha Mutants community. Then the collection that we will be minting on the 18th will be the first class or Alpha Mutants first class. First class Alpha Mutants will have a supply of 10,000 and will be minted via whitelist and public sale at a price of 0.025 ETH. So obviously, as many of you know, we have taken an approach that we want as many people as possible to have access to the utility and education that we provide, and we want to do that at an affordable price. You would be hard pressed to find a more affordable entry into such high level utility education in Alpha as 0.025 ETH. So that was a decision we made as the team because we want to have that available to as many people as possible. Each holder will have access to all the utilities mentioned in this white paper, with the exception of periodic yield airdrops from the Treasury, applicable only to Genesis holders. So let's go over the utility again, guys. If you had any doubts as to the value and utility of your Alpha Mutant, let's put those doubts to rest now. So we will have the artistic PFP, and me personally, I believe that the the PFP itself is worth the mint price because they are just super cool looking and work so well as a PFP. They're just amazing. I would personally pay the mint price just for the PFP. I may be biased, but I've got massive amounts of positive feedback in the space. So Alpha Mutants University, a comprehensive library with a diverse range of educational material for reference. So this will be an amazing asset to anyone in the space. As we develop out the Alpha Mutants University, we're even currently adding audiobooks that you can listen to. We're currently adding readable books of some of the best material in the space. We have all of these how-tos and videos with so many different areas. So that in itself is a great utility. So we'll go down through the utility list just to remind everybody of what you're getting purchasing an Alpha Mutant. So alpha analysis, exclusive access to the most essential alpha. Our analysts keep our pulse on the market and constantly monitor multiple blue chip communities and chats with a cumulative value in over 100 plus ETH. We will filter through the discussions and information with these communities and provide you with a comprehensive summary with key insights and tips within the market. We have an early watch alerts powered by AI. So it's powered by the Alpha Nugs AI bot to identify early projects with the most potential to gain traction by analyzing various factors, including art, content, notable followers, etc. That utility in itself is just a masterful utility because the projects I've gotten in early and got whitelists for or OG roles for just based off of our AI has been worth it completely in itself. Newsfeed, Web3 newsfeed for relevant news access, all curated in a single place. It's so great to be able to just pop the Alpha Mutants newsfeed each day and see all of the relevant news of the day and not have to look through Twitter for all these different things. So that's a fantastic value. Sweep alerts by Genie Sweeps and Gem Sweeps automation. So this just talks about when certain collections are having sweeps done. We have an alert for that. Mint alerts for IC tools covering the 1, 5, and 15-minute time frames, which are great if you're trying to catch a mint that you weren't aware of. Very great tool to use. Contract deployer alerts. So this will do alerts on newly deployed contracts. And it runs those on the ERC20, ERC721, and ERC115 contracts. So you can see those, which is just a super useful tool. We have rug alerts, confirmed rug pulls. We like to stay on top of safety in the space, and so we try to keep the rug alert bot available to everyone so that they can know not to be in these rug projects. Automated trading signals for BTC and ETH. These in themselves are worth 10 times our mint price. I believe we've had probably 10 or 11 trades in the last month and a half. And if you had just taken those trades and followed the entry and exit points, you would have made several 100% currently. So those trades that are super easy, even beginners can use them. And I would recommend, as you're using them, to check out Nate and his videos to learn what they're doing to actually pop those trades for the alerts. And so it's a tool that you can use to make money while you're learning how to do technical analysis yourself. So fantastic tool. Our private Ethereum node is slotted to go live shortly after mint. where you'll have access to run on our own personal Ethereum node, which will give you less gas fees, faster transaction times by orders of magnitude. Super good for sniping, super good for public sales that are over that are highly hyped, and make sure that you get in on those. DGen Alpha content, daily DGen Alpha from the top drops by our analysts. So if you're a DGen, we're the place to be. We also cover, all the free mints. We drop pre-mint links periodically to take care of all your DGen needs. Deep Alpha, weekly deep dive write-ups analysis, some of the most promising projects. We do deep um, projects. Alpha Podcast, access to weekly Alpha Mutants podcast, which is what we're doing now currently. So we do informational podcasts and interviews and analysis, and it's just a fun thing to get to kind of talk to the founders here and get information on the space. Mint Day analysis walkthroughs. So when we have a large portion of community minting one project, do VC calls on that day to run some of our tools in the background to make sure that the mint is legitimate. It is going to be a profitable mint, those type of things. And we look through buy walls, volume, community sentiment, and we follow these things for the community members. So we also have a very interesting and steeped lore. It's very rich that we're really going to go more into our lore as we move on to the Alpha Mutants Origins comic, which is coming by the end of this year. But I can give you a quick rundown of the lore of the teaser lore that we put out. So stemming from an ancient lineage dating back to the Egyptian Empire, our heroes are the descendants of the first mutant heroes the world has ever known. Alpha mutants carry the powerful alpha gene that grants them their superhuman mutant powers. Granted their abilities by Anubis, the god of death and gatekeeper of the underworld, to prevent the demi-demon horde of Shezmu from annihilating anyone who dared worship a god other than himself. After years of battle, the crisis was averted. Shezmu was defeated and banished back to his realm. To prevent such a travesty from ever happening again, the gods decided they must seal themselves away from the mortal realm to never return except under very dire and extreme circumstances. Satisfied knowing they were leaving safeguards in place, they sealed the portal for all time. The Alpha Mutants were rewarded for their sacrifice and were permitted to live the remainder of their lives enjoying the peace they had fought so hard to protect. Many returned to their families, others wandered the free world, finding places to call home. Time went on, and the world knew peace and harmony, and then war again and again. History repeated. Human beings were left to their own devices to make what they would of their world. As history repeats, so does evil come again. Old evils attempting to reclaim lost empires, new horrors surface from the depths to terrorize. When such evil does strike, we will protect. In the event of great need, our heroes will rise again as a new generation of Alpha Mutants. So we're super excited about expanding on this lore and with Alpha Mutants Origins, and then continuing the expansion of this lore with additional collections and comics. You guys are going to really love how in depth and gamified we make this. So I can't wait. Community Treasury and Profit. So let's talk about what's going on with that. So Alpha Mutants Genesis holders will periodically airdrop profits made from yielding assets within the Treasury, subject to Treasury sustainability levels. Post-mint, 65% of all funds raised from the first-class sale will be allocated to the Community Treasury. These funds will be managed by our trading team with the goal of creating passive yields and investment acquisitions of projects within NFT and Web3 space. Until a point where the Treasury can sustain profitable yields for every Genesis holder on a monthly basis, 50% of net yields month to month, measured from the first to the last day of each month. Prior to this milestone, yields will be distributed into reward pools each month. Each Genesis NFT held will count as one entry into one of the reward pools. If you hold multiple Genesis NFTs, you will have the same number of entries as the number of NFTs you hold. Each individual holder can choose to distribute their entries into a single pool for a higher chance of winning that specific pool, or distribute their entries across many pools in order to attempt to win multiple pools. There will never be a cap on yields paid out to Genesis holders. Note, in the event that the Treasury generates zero net yield on the month, reward pools for that month will be ineligible to be held in order to sustain the Treasury. So, to put that in even more layman's terms, so every month, the yields from yield-bearing assets in the Treasury and the yields from secondary sales will go into the Treasury wallet. 50% of those yields will be paid back to Genesis holders each month. So we're going to look at a quick explanation and an example here in just a second to kind of do that. So there will be three kinds of pools available for each for entry each month, pending profitability month to month. So we'll have base pools, boosted pools, and the founders pool. Base pools. These pools will be the same each month and will be the minimum prize pool. Base pools will be the most common pool and therefore will have more possible winners than the other pools. Base pools will be available for any Genesis mutant holder. One Genesis will equal one entry. Boosted pools. These pools will be the mid-level pool. They will have larger prize amounts than the base pool, but fewer winners. Boosted pools will be available for any Genesis mutant holder. One Genesis will equal one entry. And then we'll have the founders pools. So the founder pool will be the largest prize pool and will have the least amount of possible winners. To enter the founders pool, you must hold at least one Genesis mutant and 5 first-class mutants per entry. One entry is allowed for each pair held. So holding 3 pairs would be one Genesis plus 5 first class would result in 3 entries. So in other words, each entry cost 1 Genesis and 5 first class. So to have those 3 entries, you would need 3 Genesis and 15 first class to qualify. So it's a very exclusive pool, but it's going to have the most exclusive prizes. So let's talk about that and show an example here. So this is an example of a scenario where the prize pools would be structured so this way. So let's look at this for a second. For example, let's say the Treasury generated a positive return on the month of $50,000 per the conditions outlined above. 50% of that 50,000 would be 25,000. Of that profit would remain in the Treasury for future growth, and 50% or 25,000 would be rolled over to the reward pools. That 25,000 would then be distributed below. So in this example, we would have the base pool, which would have a prize pool of 10,000 with 50 winners at 2% pool allocation per winner, or $200. So we would have 50 winners of $200. So in that pool would have the highest amount of winners and the largest chance of you winning that pool. Then we would have 3 different boosted pools, one at 5,000 with 20 winners, which would be $250 a piece. One at 3,000 with only 10 winners, which would be $300 a piece for each winner. One at 2,000 with only 5 winners, that would be $400 a piece. And then the founders pool, in this instance, it would be 4 winners at 25% with 12 with $12.50 a piece. So these are some ideas of the larger pool amounts. So in this scenario, 89 total winners at $25,000 distributed to Genesis holders on the month. So the team may also choose at times to add NFT giveaways to the pools and or whitelist lists. So sometimes you may see, like for the founders pool, we may do one of the prizes may be a 1-for-1 NFT, a high level blue chip NFT, something like that, that we will put into the pools at times also. So we won't stick with just the cash. We definitely want to do some other cool things with the pools. And then that way you can choose as a Genesis holder what you're most interested in and what you want to put your distributions into. Expense and funding breakdown. So this is the breakdown of the compensation. These numbers are the estimation on the distribution after the sale. So for all profits the community takes in from the first class sale, they will be distributed at 7% to our coding team, 3% to venture capital repayment, 25% for team compensation, and just 65%, as previously stated, for the Treasury. So this will be how the funds will be distributed after the mint of the Alpha Mutants first class. We'll go over our roadmap really quickly. So stage 0 is what we're currently in, and we're coming to the very end of stage 0. So stage 0 is all about growing the presence of Alpha Mutants project, marketing efforts, and developing further partnerships with influential projects in the space. And tangent to this, we will be building out our infrastructure and testing its resilience to facilitate as seamless a launch as possible. We'll be conducting internal beta tests of our tools and utility suite to ensure they're battle tested and ready for mass adoption. So during this time, the key points were grow the Alpha Mutant social media presence, thoroughly test all aspects of our utility platform, roll out all community tools, weekly deep dive alpha, daily alpha calls, initiate, fill our whitelist, and Alpha Mutants early access podcast goes live. So these things have all taken place, and we are getting ready to end this and move into stage 1. So stage 1 is when we begin to fully implement all core utility items for holders. Following our mint, holder tools will be integrated with our website. The community node will also at this point come online and be integrated. The most important part in this stage will be the collection of holders' feedback. Alpha Mutants will be built to directly address the needs and wants of our holders. Vital to this is the acceptance of critiques and feature suggestions. So during this time frame, this will be right after mint. This will come into effect. So we'll be seeing bring Alpha Academy online. So we'll want to be integrating our Alpha Academy into our website and continue to build that out. Weekly drops with full community access. Listen to holders' feedback, roll out any bug fixes. Masternode comes online and is integrated. Alpha Mutants merch store goes live, so we will start working on our merchandise line as we get through this. And then stage 2, going through the end of the year, will be our next stage. Stage 2 is when we begin rewarding holders through strategic partnerships with other projects and release new features to the Alpha Mutants platform through integration with the Alpha Mutants community. We will allocate resources to building the systems that they want to see included in their Alpha Mutants ecosystem. This stage is also when the team will evaluate the implementation of profit sharing for the Alpha Mutants Genesis holders. Alpha Mutants holders should feel confident in the fact that their asset has a lot more room to grow in value. So we'll deploy and release new tools. Alpha Mutants comic book airdrop will take place at this time in mint. And then Alpha Mutants Comic Issue 1 physical comic we will have out, begin to implement profit sharing for Alpha Mutants Genesis holders. And this will actually probably take place sooner than this. We were just wanting to give ourselves time to get this implemented. Community challenges and monthly prize rollout, Alpha Mutants Comic 2 claim and public sale. So all of this is going to be taking place within the build up to the end of this year. So lastly, on the white paper, you'll see our official links here, websites, Twitter, OpenSea, things that we have all checked out and looked at. So I hope that has given you guys an overview of our project and what's going on. I hope you had some information that you didn't know before that you took from this. Now, this is for everyone that stuck around to the end here. We're going to do a preview of the 1-for-1s. Now, these are sneak peeks. They are that they could potentially change in one way or another before the actual mint of these in a week, but we'll go through what they currently have for the 1-for-1s on the collection. These will be the 1-for-1s for the first class collection. We will not be sneak peeking the 1-for-1s for the Genesis collection. But we will have 20 in total, but these are the 10 that will be available. So we have our beautiful sort of aqua man here. And you can see the surf in the background crashing behind him. Looks absolutely fantastic. Got that those lizard teeth in there. We have our Electric Man, so you see just you can feel the static coming through this. Love the art with this and the hair. It's almost DBZ-esque. Love the trench coat. With this one, Chris did such a fantastic job on that with the shading and a fantastic piece. I'm really gunning for this one. So if anyone picks this up, hit me up. We can work something out. So I will say really quickly that if you haven't heard any of the information inside of our Discord, there will be announcements coming forthwith. But the one for ones will not be minted in the collection. So the one for ones we wanted to do a fair distribution. So we are going to actually airdrop the one for ones to random holders of the collections. And so we will do snapshots of holders, and sometimes we'll have snapshots of like we want to reward community members that are really with us. So sometimes we'll have snapshots of people that hold, five or more of the first class. Sometimes we'll do giveaways for one thing or another, but we will distribute these over a couple months to holders just for being involved in the community and being loyal holders to the Alpha Mutants. So I think that's pretty cool um, that you could just get one of these. It will obviously be the most valuable pieces in the collection for absolutely free. So that's pretty amazing. We see Iceman here as he launches his icicles out there with the snow in the background. Also a very super cool piece. Just the skin, eyes, and hair texture is just fantastic. We see your traditional Superman moving through the sky with the laser eyes. Once again, looks pretty awesome. It is a traditional look, so very cool. We have our Dark Alpha Mutant here, um, almost like a Nightcrawler type vibe with him. I really think these ones are going to be pretty coveted as it just looks really dark and the purple hues are amazing. Looks really cool. So we have our levitating piece here with another version of the trench coat, which I find pretty awesome. I absolutely love the trench coat here. But again, love the color iterations of these and just the floating debris that's being held up there. It's quite fantastic. Next, we have everybody's favorite hothead. Um, so we have you can see the heat waves through here, pulsating from the eyes, hair, and background. Definitely a hot looking picture here. But I'm feeling this one's going to be a pretty coveted one. It's just it screams a comic book character or even an anti-hero. Um, and I love that smirk. Look at that smirk. One of my personal favorites. We have our Steel Man here with the interactive suit that lights up and you can see the shimmer around these things and then the full light up of the suit. And I think it's fantastic. This is probably one of my favorites, if not my favorite. It just has a really cool vibe to it. We have our Warp Man here. So this is a really cool one. Pulling into a warp portal hole, and you can even see the debris as it like the I don't even know what you would call it, the plasma debris as he warps out of the hole there, which is pretty awesome. Um, Very nice piece. And then lastly, which we've already previewed, we have our solar spaceman here with the power coming from his chest, a gold piece, which will probably be a very coveted one. I think this one is has already been dropped on our Twitter. So there is a quick preview of all of those guys. I hope that you enjoyed getting to see those. I know I've enjoyed getting them out there to the community. Um, so this is what obviously I said this is going to be a pretty short episode. We've got a lot of stuff going on this week, but I hope this episode helped you guys. Once again, if you're not already, please like and follow our social medias down below. Enter our Discord. Get ready for the party because it's coming. This last week is building up to launch is just going to be amazing. I'll go ahead and link Nate's channel also down below, so you guys can check that out if you want to. And yeah, just come and have a good time with the build up to the launch next week, and we hope we see you all there. So I hope you got some value from this. Until next time, this is Cryptokenny, and I am signing out. Everybody, we'll see you next time.